Hi everyone, welcome and thank you for attending the PrestaShop e-commerce week. Today we are glad to have you on this webinar starring Colin Geneste, which is the lead product manager of the core product team. Colin will present you the new PrestaShop version, the 177, mostly from a merchant point of view, or see if you have any need for technical information, feel free to watch Pablo's webinar. I will write down the link in the chat. Also, I would like to thank you, PayPal, Criteo, and Quadra Informatique for sponsoring this event and made it possible. Colin, you can get on stage.
Thank you, Louise, and hi everyone. I'm really happy to get the opportunity to talk with you about products, even if it's virtually. So yeah, as we said, today we're going to talk about the new version that is going to be released very soon. So the PrestaShop 177 version. As she said, it's mostly on the merchant side, so mostly talking about new features and improvements. But there was on Monday a session for tech improvements on 177, so do not hesitate to have a look at this presentation. Just a few words. So my name is Colin. As Lou said, I'm lead product manager for the core product team. So with the core product team, including Louise and other product managers, we are working and dedicated to make the software evolve and ensure that we provide value for our user, especially merchants as you, who are using every day the platform and the back office especially. So for the presentation today, I'm going to talk and say a few words about the current state of the 177 because we are in the last phase of the development. I'll also present the new features and main improvements that you're going to be able to find in this version, and then the last steps before being able to make the release. But get ready. The first news is that after 1 year of development and stabilization, we are almost ready to release this stable version. We are expecting to be able to make this release by the end of the month, meaning that we are still in the phase of stabilizing, but it should be over soon. So before going in details into what's the new features that we are bringing and what are the improvements that we have done for 177, I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about stability because we know that it's key for you and for your activity to have a platform that is stable, the most stable as possible. And this is why we made a focus on stability in the development of PrestaShop 177. So I just wanted to show you a few figures so that you understand that it was really at the heart of our focus and our development. So if you look, for instance, at the version board on GitHub, so the PrestaShop 177 version board, you can see that we actually fixed more than 450 issues for these versions. This screenshot was actually taken a few days ago, so I think we have more now. But what I wanted to say is that among those 450 results, there are user stories for new features, there are issues for improvements, there are, for instance, tech tasks, or also regression, which are bugs that we've introduced during the development of the 177 version. So obviously, we have to fix them. So among all of this, there's a lot of things different that we fixed, and among all of this, you can see that when filtering and making some filters on the Kanban, we can see that there are more than 150 old bugs that we have fixed. When I'm talking about old bugs, I'm saying bugs that were already present in a previous version of the 1.7 version, but also sometimes in 1.6 or 1.5 versions. So some of the bugs that we fixed were here for a few years, and we took time to fix them to ensure that we provide stability to your platform. Obviously, you know that PrestaShop is a very large software with a lot of features, a lot of complexity sometimes. So obviously, we have a backlog of bugs, and we are not able to fix everything at the same time. So we have to make some choices and decide what to select first for the fix. So we have some criteria that we choose to make some prioritization. The first one I would say is the number of people who are involved in the issue that is explaining the bug. Meaning that if there are people commenting the issue or following the issues, or sometimes also creating a duplicate of the issue, all of this together, this allows us to know what are the issues that are the most followed, and we call them the top watchers. And this is one criteria that we take into account to make some prioritization. The second criteria, I would say, is the level of severity of the issue, meaning how impactful is this issue on the work of the merchant. Like, is it impacting his business, or is it impacting the daily work on the platform? And to define this, we have different levels of severity. The major one is critical, then we have major, minor, and then trivial. And obviously, as you can imagine, we are prioritizing critical and major severity levels over minor and trivial. So that's one way also for us to make prioritization. Obviously, it doesn't mean that we never fix minor or trivial issues, but they are less priority. The last thing I would say about how do we select issues to fix is that when working on a new feature, or for instance, reworking a whole page, we also take time not only to provide new features, but also to collect all the bugs that are in this page and take time to fix as many bugs as possible. So for instance, I will talk about the order page right after, but in this page, when working on the full rework, we actually took time to fix more than 20 bugs. And as I was saying, some of them were sometimes already present in 1.6 version. So yeah, that's it. Let's go to the feature. So the number one feature that is actually the big work that we have done is on the order management system. It's a full rework of the order management system, meaning that we worked on the listing page, but also the order page detail. So the first thing I wanted to show is the listing. The listing has been fully reworked to be able to provide you with some value, because today we realized that this page was not really helpful. You had to go from the listing to the order page, and then back to the listing, and then back to another order page. So actually, it was not really helpful. So what we've tried to do is actually bring new features in this page so that you can manage most of your orders directly from the listing. So the first feature we've added, you can see it on the GIF, is added a preview to your order. So you can see in the preview all the necessary information to prepare the order, for instance, the product and the addresses. You will also be able to, directly from a drop-down, change easily the order status, so that you can, after, for instance, preparing the order, you can change the status and put the new status. About order status, there's something that you might notice is that we've changed the colors so that it's easier for you to know which orders are waiting for an action on your site. And last of all, it's, for instance, the customer link that we've added, so that you can easily go to your customer if there is some information from your customer that you need. So what is interesting with those features is that we have calculated that you can save up to 30 seconds on each order, meaning that if you have, for instance, 50 or 100 orders to manage every day, by the end of the week, you can save a few hours. And this is key for us, because this means that you spend less time on repetitive tasks that do not provide added value for you, and you can spend more time on, for instance, marketing, or I don't know, for instance, going to another country, or if you want to do some customer relationship, you will be able to do with the time that you actually save with this page. Second part of the rework is, as I was saying, on the order detail page. So we realized when making a lot of interviews that this page is actually quite complete already. There's a lot of features already involved in this page, but informations are not well placed sometimes. For instance, the products that are in the order, and that is, let's say, the key of the order, is at the bottom of the page. Meaning that if you want to see the products that are in the order, you have to go to the bottom of the page, and this can be very frustrating. So in the new page, what we have done is bringing them to the top of the page so that you can easily see them and have some action, such as adding a discount or adding a product to the order. We also realized that all the actions that you are able to do in the page, they were located in different places of the page, which can be hard sometimes to find. So what we've done is placing all the most important information, and especially all the action buttons, on top of the page, such as print invoice, partial refund, or buttons for returns, for instance. So with this, you will also be able to save some time and to spend less time on each order. And just a final word about the message system that we also improved in this page, because there were some issues to be able to discuss with the customer inside an order. So we've improved this system so that it's more useful for your need. Second feature is about currency management and the customization of the display. So I don't know if you recall, but we have already improved the currency management in 1.7.6 version, which was released a year ago. But we realized it was not enough for all the different needs of the merchants. For instance, we realized that a lot of merchants need to create their own currencies, either because they are virtual, meaning, for instance, that they want to create their own currency, or they want to create, for instance, a currency to sell in Bitcoin, for instance. And in other part of the world, there are also problems because the official currencies are not the currency that they use every day in e-commerce websites. So for all of these needs, what we have done is making it possible to create any type of currencies. So directly in the currency page, you will be able to create new currencies, and as many as you need. The second element is about the customization of the display, because there is a default display that we provide on the front office, which is supposed to be the correct display for your needs. But sometimes, according to the currency, according to the language on the front office, and according to your needs, it's not perfect, and it's not exactly how you would it to be like in front office. So with this new version, the 1.7.7, we provide all the tools for you to customize the display of your price and all the elements of the price for every language of your store. So for instance, you will be able to change the symbol if you want it to be changed. You will be able to change where it is located in the price, for instance, if it's at the beginning or at the end, and you will be able to change other elements for every different language that you have on your store. Third feature, which is called the fuzzy search, which is a weird name, let's say, but I wanted to talk about this feature because it's really key for the conversion on your website, and it's really an interesting feature for this. But it's also very interesting because, and we are really proud of it, because it was not developed on our side, but it was actually suggested and developed by someone from the community, who is called Latano, who is a French contributor, and he's the one who pushed for this idea and then developed it with a review from our side. So I think it's really interesting because it shows that the community is engaged in this project, and this is what we really want to see in the near future. So I will let Louise say a few words about the feature itself, because she's the one who worked with Latano on this feature.
Thank you, Colleen. Indeed, it's a very specific feature because it has been entirely developed by a community member, as Colleen said. To go more in depth, the fuzzy search is a feature that improves the native searching feature on PrestaShop, and it allows spelling mistakes or input errors to be taken into account during the search. So it has like a double benefit, because on the one side, for the customer, it allows a better user experience, a better browsing experience on your website. Also, on a merchant point of view, you will be able to increase your conversion rates. So it really is a great feature. To go more precisely, like I can take an example. If you are a merchant that sells a t-shirt, and if you write a t-shirt with a T on your catalog, if a user goes on your website, on your store, and types t-shirt with TEE at the beginning of the word, he won't find any result with the native search, while with the fuzzy search, it will allow to have results immediately. So this is the great improvement, and it's something that we will include more in further versions of the software. This work with the community, and to have big and important features developed as well as by the community and the internal teams.
Thank you, Louise. Yeah, and what's interesting is that you can configure it according to your needs, because according to the different products that you sell or the language in which you sell your products, well, you will need to adapt it to your needs. Fourth feature, which I think will be a great news for many merchants, because it's the wishlist module, and it was a feature that was available in 1.6 versions that we removed from 1.7 versions, because we thought it was kind of a niche feature, not needed for every types of merchants. But we realized when interviewing a lot of merchants that this feature was missing in 1.7. So we took the time to not only bring the feature from 1.6 to 1.7, but actually redevelop it from scratch to be able to have a more modern display on front office, but also more configuration on the back office. So if I go in details into like what's in this module, so it's actually a classic wishlist feature. So you will be able to add products to your wishlist for logged users. Let's wait for the GIF to start again. You will be able to see all of your wish list in your account. Also share the wish list that you have. And if we look back at the beginning, so yeah, you can see that you have a heart shape. You will be able to put products either from the listing or from the product page to the wish list that you want. So you can create as many wish lists as you want. And once you have done that, you can go to your wish list and put products from the cart, from the wish list to the cart, and then buy them. So that's it for the main news, the main features. But obviously, as you can imagine, after 1 year of work, we have other new features and improvements. We don't have much time, so I won't go into details, but I can say a few words about at least those 3 new features. So the first one is the improvement of the theme customization module. So I don't know if all of you are using it, but it's a very useful tool, especially for merchants who are new to PrestaShop, because it helps you to find all the features and all the modules that are impacting the homepage. That was the first version of the module. So that's a way for you to find all the features that you need. But now what we have done is adding the product and category pages so that it's easier for merchants to find, for instance, modules or features which have an impact on the product page. The second one is another module that we've improved a few months ago. It's the customer reinsurance. So I guess some of you know it. It's the module that helps you to display reinsurance elements such as free shipping or secure payment or the types of reinsurance. It used to be possible to display the reinsurance element only on the product page and checkout page. And we made a huge improvement to ensure that you can also display them either in the footer or in the header, so that you can have it displayed on all the pages of your website. And the last features I wanted to talk about is actually a new field that we added to the product page so that it can be displayed on the front office, is the manufacturer part number field. So it's very useful for some types of business sectors, some types of products, and that can help you with your SEO and your indexation. So that's it for the functional aspects, functional features. And as I said, I won't go in details into the tech side, but still I wanted to show you that we've also worked on the tech part. We also made a lot of improvements on this part. Without like explaining all of it, what I can say is that we are focusing on bringing more stability, such as like I was saying at the beginning, but also provide security for your activity so that we ensure that your website is secured. And the first thing I wanted to say is about the PHP version. So what we decided for 177 is to drop the support for PHP version under 7.13 version and provide support for PHP version 7.3 for the reasons that we want to provide you with more stability, and we don't want to encourage you to stay on PHP versions that are no longer supported. So this is why we highly encourage people to upgrade to PHP version above 7.13, and especially if you want to update to 177. So that's it for the presentation of the features. As I said, we are still in the phase of stabilization, so it means we haven't released the final version, but we are close to do it. So where we are right now, so we are here approximately. This means that we are close to be releasing what we call the release candidate, which is, as the name says, the candidate for the final version. We are still in the beta period, which is a test version that we provide to the community to ensure that we get feedback from the community, especially to identify regressions, so meaning new bugs that we haven't fixed and that we've introduced in these versions. So it's a key step for us, because this is how we ensure that we fix all the bugs that we could find during the development. So once we have finished to fix all of these regressions that we have found, then we will be able to release the release candidate. That should be above the around the 15th of July. And then when this has been released and after 1 week we haven't found new bugs, new regressions, then we can release the stable version. So yeah, it's actually very close to the end, and we are very excited to be releasing it soon. So just the final words, just so that you can keep this in mind. So there are 3 focus that we had during this development, and it's really key for us that you have this. It's the productivity. The first thing is that we want you to have time for what matters the most, and that you don't spend too much time on time-consuming tasks, such as preparing and managing orders. So this is the first thing, is the productivity. The second thing is the conversion. So what we want is also to help you in your activity and in your growth, in the growth of your business. So we provide you with tools that will help you in this matter. So the first thing is the Wishlist module, which is a new tool that we hope can help you in this conversion. But it's also, for instance, the currency management, which will help you to provide with new currencies and adapt to your needs, and then help you in your conversion. And I think we also talked about the fuzzy search, which is also a great element for the user experience and the conversion of your website. And last but not least, I think I've said already a few words about it, but the stability is really key for us. So we really take this into account to ensure that you have a great experience when using PrestaShop every day. And this is why we take so much time to fix bugs, to improve our technologies, and ensure that we provide a robust platform for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colleen. I think we have time for 1 or 2 questions maximum. So one question has been partly answered by Marco, but Paul asked what information are available in the preview of the order listing with the new order page.
So there's quite a lot of information, and we have tried to put all the information that are actually needed when you are preparing an order. Obviously, there are a lot of different needs, so maybe it won't be enough for every merchant, but what we've added is at least the carrier that is needed, obviously the address of the customer, obviously also the products that need to be found in the order. And for instance, we have also added for the product part, we have added the location if you are using the stock location field. So if this is used, you will be able to find it on the preview. We have also, let me check, that will actually be easier for me to check. Yeah, we have also added, for instance, a payment system that is used. And let me check if there are the tracking ID. You will be able to find it, and yeah, all the information of the customers, like for instance the number and the email. I think that's most of it.
Thank you. And any date for the release of the 177?
So as I was saying, we are expecting the release candidate to be released in about 2 weeks. So around the 15th, I think, of July. If this goes well, and during the week of the release candidate, we do not have any feedbacks about new regressions, either on our side or on the community side, then after 1 week, we will be able to release the stable version. And that can happen, that actually happened during the 176. If during the release candidate, we find one new regression, for instance, we will have to fix it and then build a new release candidate, what we call the release candidate number 2. And then we will have to go to another week of testing. So I would say by the end of the month, that should be all right, but we never know like if new regressions will be found. So yeah, I would say in about a month.
Thank you, Colleen. I think we're done. If you want to reach us, you can write to Colleen through the website of the PrestaShop Events e-commerce week. Also, I would like to invite you guys to have a look at Alexandre Remy, our CEO, final speech, which is planned for tomorrow at 4 p.m. local Paris time. So feel free to watch it. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye.